Yes, 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 it's visible. Okay. Mm, on change. Okay. Set name. V dot get dot value. Yes, it is partially correct. I told you to add a submit button. Then when you press submit, then it will also log. Okay, submit value. Submit button. Submit value. Okay. Why reload? Yes, yes. So this way you can create simple forms. Yeah, for complex forms, we use Formic library and yep, Formic and yep, Formic and yep. This is for complex. This one, complex forms, which involves. Uh, at presently, there is no need to show. That we can discuss later. But because these are little complex and involves many. Okay. Pratik has also joined. So, Pratik, did you that completed that task form submission? Okay. Venkat, can you explain how did you do that, and then we can move to next topic. Explain that one in which there is a submit button also. Okay. So, Venkat, can you do one thing? Can you just also log only E? Just log only E value. The value of E, what E gives you. E is for basically event. Uh, no, no, not like this. No, you can't write. Yeah, yeah. Uh, outside the tag or inside the function inside on change. Do one thing. Remove set name and do console.log in line number 22. No, do only e dot target. Yeah, so here you're getting all the input tags. Okay. And whenever you write something, it should display. It should not display. Uh, e dot target. Yes, it is taking e dot target, and there should be a value. Just log e only e. Log only e. Okay, you are not passed value here. In input, you can write also value is equal to name. So basically, it is coming from this only. You are going through all the objects and though a curly bracket. It should be it's a JavaScript. Yeah, it's JavaScript in capital. Now change the value. Yeah, this is what I am talking about. See, synthetic basic event. So when you expand it, you will see various options. E dot target. So what is from the here it is coming. You can fetch all the things. Timestamp and all. Event bubbling and yeah, event this one. Event delegation and event bubbling. Okay. This is a JavaScript. This is some JavaScript related. I think this will be taught by Subham sir. Subham Bhaiya. Yeah. So basically, it is like when you see a bubble, it moves up. So when you do something like on click and change inside something, it will move up to the parent div like that. Parent, child, children, or that kind of concept. This bubbling is that, and then here you will get your timestamp, value, and all. You will find it from here. That is basically E, and E is basically inside the browser you will get. It's a browser feature. E is for event. Yeah. Uh, okay, so curly braces inside curly braces. I'm writing a Java. This is JavaScript, and name here is defined on the top and used it. Go up. Venkat, can you go up? Yeah. Yeah. See on line number 4. So the value is set to name means the value is set to this line number 4 names that is empty. So whenever you change the value of name there should be changing. So yeah, whenever you write input, you must write this value, and there is also called as a name. Name is equal to name tag, name attribute. It's your attribute. So like type value, there is also a name attribute. So write that also. name is equal to first name. It's small letter. It's small letter. Name is equal to like first name or writing string. Doesn't matter. This is not to for viewing. This is for internal JavaScript. Okay. You're logging in, huh? Logging in, so that's why you're getting this one. Yeah, you can change it. Uh, you're logging in console. Write set name instead of console, and then when the set name is set, then because this is an on change function, on change event handler. So for every change, it's displaying that. Mm, it's coming like normal. This is for internal JavaScript. Later in yeah. So what can you repeat? For it, no, so what happens in like advanced JavaScript? I will show you one code only. So basically, for restructuring, and they means there are like many, um, there are big forms. Sometimes there are very big forms. So you can just like set it using that only. Once show you the example, then we'll get it. No, not CSS. Uh, Saying, let me find the example. And one more thing. Pranav Pratik, you can share the screen. So I'll explain you about the array one. How can you push data inside the array using three dots? It's called the spread operator. You can share your screen, then I will just tell you about this code. Just define an array. So use code, open code sandbox and open define an array. Don't edit in this file. Always there's app.js. Only this file you edit. Leave this index.js as this. Index.js and index.html don't touch these files. Edit in this one, and you can for if you want to make components, just go to source and add a folder. Yeah, like follow the practice. Yeah, that this is no, this is for file. Go over again to source and this folder. Yeah, this one. Write components. Components you can enter. Yeah, and inside the components you can write any component you want, like child.js, parent.js, and all. Okay, and now you can import. Just go to just edit this one in app.js only. Edit this one in app.js. Okay. Define an array. Yes, yes. Uh, yes, const. Don't do const because you'll be changing the array. Do or let. Anything in JavaScript and Python you can do it. Pass anything. One, two, three, four. Okay, and then enter another. Go to another line. Two, three, four, and now define a new array, and then just okay. I'll tell you the syntax. Do you know the syntax of the rest operator? The spread operator. Spread operator. Okay. Yes. So you can do console log and add array. Array and add any element inside that. After array, do a comma and add an element, like five or six. Hmm. Yes, Venkat has typed it right. I think you know about the spread app spread on. Right. Open console. Oh, in this, they don't not that console. This has an inbuilt console. That one. Close this one. You will see inside Dynamo. Yes. Clear the console inside the React DevTools. Go to console only. Go to console and reload if there is any error. Yeah. Reload. There is a small button actually there. Uh, reload it. Reload it. Reload is not. Yeah, so this is also called as concatenation, and you can also use array.concat. Array to yeah, array to is equal to array.concat. This yes, and you can you do yeah array.concat. If there is another array, then you can do it like that. Array.concat. I think it's for. Uh, now let me share my screen. Array, array 2 dot concat array. Yeah, array 2 dot concat. No, no, array. Uh, see, array two dot concat array two. If you do, okay. Hmm. Okay. I will. No, I'll share my screen. I will tell you like how to do it. So can you see my screen? So this is a like a simple form. This is, this is a simple form, and make here only. I will try to get array. Basically, you follow the practice only. Everywhere you will see array dot dot array one. The use of rest operator basically. Okay. To log console properly, you can write the line number here, or you can do this one. Otherwise, you will get confused. Like this. It will concat. Yes, yes. So the first array which I want to concat, and the second array I want to concat. So if I want to concat with the second array, that array two is equal to three comma four comma five array dot array two. So like this you will get here. Okay. But in like normally that we don't follow this one. We just do like this only. Dot array one, yeah, comma dot array. And this one, this I can use if you can see this icon. This is for clearing the console. Okay, you need to expand this, drag here and all. Okay. Now I'll explain you this simple form. This is the basic form. Some of the it's like how we do. Why is this name important? You told me. No? So using this name, we don't have to write it multiple times. We can write it single time. So in this one, we are following. This is an object. Okay, like this, curly bracket and key value pair. Okay, and we are setting this form data and set data, and this use data is now initial object. So this one, or you can also do like this, like remove that, and you can also do like this one. But it is recommended to do like that. Define an initial state early. Yeah, simply do make a variable name, given a variable name, and write objects inside this, and then do initial state. And this is a normal on change function. This I will explain you. First, I will go to the this app. So you can either do a write a button and then a click then do a on submit. Okay, or you can use this form tag. So what it does, whenever you do a submit, it will automatic call this on submit method. Okay, and here you'll see the name is first name, and try to avoid space. Okay, in this one, uh, you have written space. uh, so this name is important, and this value and this on change we are providing, like you have done, we are changing every time, like set name, set first name, second name, yeah, like that, Venkat. So so to remove that repetition, we are just doing an on change. and it is similar like your only this like only, and then this I'm explaining, this is restructuring. So what is doing is on change function is taking the value of e, and then is taking the name and value and setting it to e dot target. Okay, this line. And what this does, it takes every name and value, see every name and value, and it maps to it, and this is concatenating or appending to the form data. So whenever you write, it will be yeah. So it will be dynamically taking that name and value from every input field. It will take the name for first name automatic, like when you define it like that, e dot target not name it will take, and value it will take. This syntax you need to remember. This is the key value, key, and this is the value. Okay. So name will yes. So name will be dynamically changing according to e dot target, and then if I can show you, so dot target. This is now a logging first name because I have changed this one. This was called and e dot target was name. If I press it here, what will be the output? Pratik, can you tell? If yes, because it is dynamically taking it from here using this. So name in array. This one. Yeah. Yes, yes. So yeah, because this is an object, and I want to append the next student. I want to add another student. I'm not adding the same student. I'm not changing the same student. I'm adding students. So if I do this, the student will be added in the form data. So when I call that form data, form data. So now you'll see this AAA, and now uh, so dot log. Okay, I think it will reload again. So basically, this will for appending inside the form data. This will append. Uh, this you understood, na? That dynamically changing of name. It will take the name and value. So I'm commenting this, removing this out. Uh, so this using this, it is doing a form dot data previous value. This is set data, na? So it's setting the form data to it will previous value and adding this name value. So uh, otherwise, if I do only set data and if I remove this, and if I log console.log form data, it will not be stored like an object. It will be stored like only first name will be stored, only last name will be stored if I change. Yeah. So if I do dot dot dot, then it will take this previous, it will save it to previous also. It will log the next also. It will append the next one also. Array of the name in which line of the line 16. If I remove name, if I remove this, this square bracket is not for array. This is for key one. Like it is for the key. In the name of the tab. It will not log only. That's because this is key. Log. In the name, it is not inside that. It is not inside our input. It's taking just another name. So key is defined like that only inside objects. Did you got any did you got the idea about writing forms? Mm. Yes, and yeah, you note about this e dot prevent default. Uh, so actually, the default behavior of the website is when you click submit, it will reload. So in our case, if this page refresh, then all the data we have said will be lost. Okay, so that's why we do. Uh, See, this is reloading, na? So that's why we do e dot prevent default. It is very important every time when you do a on submit when you write a on submit function. Just every time do this e dot prevent default. Otherwise, your data will get lost. No, it will. It's the behavior of browser that when we do submit, it will refresh. See, refresh the page, and when we do e dot prevent default, so the default behavior of the website is of the page is to reload of the browser of the this one. What you say? Uh, this Google Chrome thing is to reload, refresh the web page, the browser. Yes, yes. To prevent the default behavior of the website or of the browser. Yeah, the browser. Yes. See, when you're typing something and it got reloads, then the data will get lost only because we are not saving inside backend. Okay, I think you got the idea. Uh, and this is another destructuring. So where this is being used, I will tell you. Uh, yes, this is JavaScript. So because you have this is object and uh, this is object, so that's why this destructuring and this is introduced. REST operator is introduced because this is a object. If you do like that set name on what you have done earlier yesterday, what Venkat did today, so then there will be no issue of this. You can do like simply like that, set name inside the function only, like Venkat did. But if you are this is for longer forms, like when you have 10 to 15, 20 fields. So yeah, and this way it is easy to log errors also. And this is important because if you don't write like this, then inside the value you need to do form data dot first name. Okay, this is called restructuring. So destructuring, and then accessing the state value by destructuring. So if you don't like do like this, then it will be form data. Yeah, here it will be form data dot first name. Okay, if I remove here, this is difficult to understand. Uh, why we did this? If we don't do like this, then we have to do like that. We have to add every time in value. We have to add form data dot first name, because objects can be accessed using a dot operator. Parent form data dot first name, then I can access this one. Yeah, form data dot last name, then I can access this one. So if there are like, yeah, yes, yes, form data is basically initial state. Correct. The form data dot first name, then we can access this. So when we do destructuring here only, before returning anything, when we do destructuring, then we can directly like that, right? Remove this first form data, and we can directly use it like that. So it is basically uh, for reading for clean code, but you can also remove it. There is no problem with this. I'll share you this code, so you can once again go through this. This is if you understand this, then you can write any form, any length of form you can write. Mm, okay, and I think, do you have any doubts in this one? On submit anything like on submit, what is happening? Why we are not submitting via button? It is inside the form. So whenever the submit thing happen inside this, it will automatically take this one, and this it will call this function. This is the form tag. So this is the importance of form tag. On submit is an event handler, and the function name is also on submit here. Yeah. Also, if you hover it, you can see it takes any and returns a void, all those things. So here the important things are name, value, and on change. Yes, name anything you can give. Like basically you give this placeholder, remove this space and give this one. Value you give what you want to dynamically change inside the JSX, and on change is your function. On event handler, that will call an on change function. Okay, got these three things. Perfect. Now, so we're going to discuss. So you can make a I think to-do list with this using the REST operator. Using REST operator, you can make a to-do list. So I think I should give this as a task. So simple to-do list. Uh, uh, there's no need to like add, delete or any CRUD operation. Just an input box, and it will be when we submit. When we submit, it will add to the to-do array. Okay. Did you got the question? A simple input box. This one. When you enter something and submit, it will add into a to-do array. Okay. In this, you need to use a map function. Okay. This is a hint. When you want to show the array, you need to use map function. Okay. Now we will be discussing about use effect. Use effect. We'll take this API. This is a free API. You can find it online. Discord. I'll send you one. So this is the API. I'll send you also. Do you know how to call API? Or can you try? Well, I'll also set up the code. So Pratik or uh, Venkat, you can share your screen. You know about map function? Map. Yes, yes. It's a new array, and it is also you can fetch the data and from the array also you can return it. Every single element you can return. Okay, you can share your screen then, and I'll be stopping my screen. Will help you. So, and I'll explain you some basic thing about so there are three life cycle methods. First one is component did mount. Component mount. So what is it? Whenever a website loads, this component did mount is automatically called. Whenever a website loads only at that time, at the time of website loading, this is called. And then there is component did update. So whenever we update a state, at that time this is called. Okay, and then component will unmount. So this is when we clear the state for clearing this one. In while calling the API, what we want when we enter when we load the website, the API data should be available. So that means the component did mount only we need. While mounting, we need the data. It will load the data at the time of it will display the state at the time of loading of website only. Whenever site loads, it will display the data. The component did update means whenever we change the state. Suppose when we are increasing a counter, and then when we press a button inside that, it gets updated. At that time, we want to do something like we want to call an API. So suppose with example, we have a pagination 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. So now I want like by default it is 10 pages, 10 items per page. I want a 20 item. So when I click on 20, I don't want the entire website to reload uh, and again it will make slow and all. So what we will do, we'll just add that page size inside our function. So it will only update that thing, that API. It will not reload all the page. It will just do that. It will just update that. Which one? Component will and I will tell you. You can use. Uh, I think you can use the Axios library. Uh, yeah, for it is used like in all industries. So yeah, Axios. So for download for installing any packages, you can just go to your code sandbox. I sent you the API inside in this one in Google Meet. Sample, yeah, this is a sample API. Just click on the link, you will see some data to random JSON data. What more can you repeat? Yeah, this is the sample uh, output of the API. Just go to add dependency and add Axios. Okay, first you try to implement via this promise, and then also component will unmount will like unmount when the component is no longer inside the DOM, it will unmount it. It will remove it. Yeah, this is simple mounting, the update and unmounting. Fetch console.log API. Like line number 6 and 7, you can check again what you have written. You have not. Are you trying to? Yeah. Are you trying to make it arrow like a arrow function? I think that you are missing equal. He is missing equal to in line number 6. I think after API. API is okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, do like that. Only. Fetch like this. Fetch. Ah, expected to. But this is not like I don't think this is correct syntax. I think not correct. Syntax is not correct. Yes. You have to call the fetch API, but there is some error. Unexpected token at line number 7. Which get API is auto fetch dot then dot catch. After catch, I think there will be small. No, no. Wait should be before. Uh, I'm not sure that if we can use async await with fetch before. No, dot then is needed with async await. Hmm. Dot then. Okay, you can install the Axios. Try to use Axios only. Axios is more used also, and people look for Axios first. So you go to add dependency and then add Axios. Yes, this one. And now import use effect also. So because we are also running the import uh, on the line number 2. Import use effect. Yes, yes. Use effect. First import use effect, then Axios from Axios. Axios from Axios. Hit curly brackets are needed. Import use effect from React only. React. It is provided by React. This is a hook. So and also all the hooks are provided by React. Use effect, use all. And for Redux, there will be you will get to know. Use selector and use selector and use dispatch are provided by Redux toolkit. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Yeah, so you have installed this Axios now. So clean this up. You don't need fetch. You can use Axios. Clean this. Clean the fetch API also. Yes. And now use effect, and then pass an anonymous function with it with use effect. So you yeah good question. Actually, use effect does all the component lifecycle methods are used are basically use effect is a hook that does all the lifecycle method that performs all the lifecycle method inside React. Both all the three component mounting, updating, and unmounting can be done using use effect. Yeah. So lifecycle method I told you component did mount, component update update, and component will unmount. These three are in the functional component. Inside the class component, there are many. There are two more, but we don't. They are not like used much and asked much because we don't need that. So we mainly need component did mount. So whenever a component is loading, whenever you load a website, that block of code will be executed. Okay, and whenever you change a state, like uh, like I told about the counter thing, whenever you change a state, you want that piece of API to run on again, only that piece of API to run again, or only that piece of logic to run again. Then that is called component did update, and for that purpose, there this is a use effect is little different from a normal function, and you pass an array of dependency with it. Okay, so I will write a basic syntax, and component will unmount is basically when you clear that function when the component is no longer needed, or when you are going to another component. Suppose you have a model inside your website, and you exit from that model, the pop up thing. Yeah, and yeah, so you don't need you have closed the model, then you want the component to unmount from the DOM. No, unmount will basically, when the component is no longer needed, then we do component will unmount, and basically we are clearing all the state and all that everything. Which one? Yeah, basically you can say it cleaning up the component. This is this terms may sound very this difficult, complex, but this is by writing a simple return function, you can clean up the component. And and for updating, there is only a simple array of dependency. So first you write a bare, uh, what you say, a simple use effect. So again, yeah, yes, a, a component has a life cycle. When, yeah, it wakes up, so it is like life cycle: wake up, then do work, then die. It's kind of that thing. So when you wake up, yeah, when you wake up, mounting. When you do work, when you're changing your state and updating, and then when you die, just dying is unmounting. Yeah. Now you, okay. Yes, you can go. uh, no, no, I pasted in chat box, but this is incomplete. I'll again paste. So you pass an anonymous function with use effect, and anonymous arrow function, and then like this, anonymous arrow function, yes, and arrow. Yes, yes. So this is a, uh, and now there is, I will tell you the dependency array. When it comes to dependency array in line number 8, after one curly bracket, write a comma after the curly bracket in line number 8. Yes, comma, and sign of array, empty array. Yeah. So whatever you will write in here, suppose I write count. So no, I'm just telling example. Suppose inside this dependency array you write count. So this block of code will run again if the value of the count is changes. So that is component did update. Okay. Uh, this is very. Yes, I will show you also. First we'll call the API. Yeah, this is the syntax. Uh, and I will tell you about, first we'll call the API, then I'll tell you the uh, unmounting and updating. Okay. So we just uh, before this, and just write an function here only. Just define a function const API call or something. Const API call, and then write a arrow function. Yes, write a arrow function, and make it a async. Yes. And then await axios.get. Axios.get. We are getting this API. Yeah, brackets, and then paste that API. And not this one. I've pasted in the chat. Yes. So basically, there are four methods, four API HTTP methods: get, post, mm, put, delete, and patch. Five methods. So yes, not exactly. Yes, almost correct. Yeah. Put, patch, delete. So get what get does, whatever the data is inside the API, it's coming from the API. It will get it, like it will go to the API response, and we can then modify it according to our will. But yeah, yeah, we can get the data. Yes, yes, it can be done using fetch. But Axios easy, and later if you see that in complex project we use interceptors. We want some, if we want API, yeah. So for that purpose, Axios is used, like every time you see, you will see Axios. Fetch is for simple project, basic projects. If you want to call one to API, so you can use fetch. And then yes, Axios.get, and then there is post method, Axios.post. So that you form you made, if you want to post it to an API, you can use Axios.post, and then the API, and then comma your data. That then that data will be posted to the API, and the same Axio.delete, pass the ID with the API, it will get deleted. Yes, I think Venkat has posted the unmounting mounting thing. Okay. First we'll just, yeah, syntax says yes to put, and then you have that return thing is basically component cleanup or unmounting, both are same. So now with then you, yeah, with then again once, uh, what you say, no, do a what you say, arrow function, and right inside res or result, take the input as result. No, not this one. Dot, then again pass a callback function, callback or anonymous function, arrow function, right? And take result as an input. Console.log. Now you log the console. Res, and just now you reload. Think it looks correct. Just save this one in auto format. Yes, yes, you need to follow. Yeah, I forgot. Just after that call API call. Inside that only. Inside that after the console.log. After that dot then thing. Line number 12. After line number 12 you can call it. After line number 13. See where this is ending. Line number 7 is ending after. Okay. Call after 15. Yes, yes. Don't call the function inside that. You see data is coming, and once if you do res.data, then it will go inside the data. Console.log res.data. Yeah, see. You are getting all the 200 records. Expand that. Expand that object. Expand that object. Yes, now you're getting the user ID title. So this is now inside your component. Okay. So whenever you reload this, this will be mounted. This will be available to available for using it. Available to use it. Yes. You can display it on the screen using. You need to map it. So you are storing it in console.log. Now define a state. Use state. No, no, not here. Define a state empty like data comma set data after line number 5. Leave it like this. Leave it like this. So yes, yes. Data comma set data. So, React dot use state. Use state. But it will give you error. You know why it is giving error? The key you have imported this one. Okay, now give this. Don't leave it empty. Either you give it a empty string, or write a null, or write a empty array. Arrays dot data. No, no. Array dot data. No, leave this empty. Leave this as an empty string. Now we are not doing anything. The value of data is now empty. And after we call this API, now do set data in line number 12. No, no. After we call the API, set the data. Hmm. No, no, not after that. When you have logged where you have logged console.log. Uh, okay, you are not getting the point actually. So let me explain. Okay. So in line number 9, you have done use effect, and then you have pass an anonymous function inside that, and then you have made a you're storing everything inside API call. Okay, and here you are doing your async operation and await dot get, and you're getting the data, and then dot then you are logging it into the console. So instead of logging it into the console, you can set the data directly here. So set data and bracket res res yeah, set data and do rest.data, because in the API we can see inside the data there the all the titles are there. So rest.data. Yes, that's perfect. Now you can log the data after somewhere after API call, do console.log set data. Yes, I think yeah, here will also it will work. Console.log data. Yeah, you can see now the data is logging. Expand it. Expand it. No, you. Yeah, it is a syntax also, and if you want, you can change it. Uh, oh, yeah, you can change. You can try. You can change and see what is happening. Mm. Now save it. Save this. Yeah, save this one. Save. Control S. Control S, and then reload it again. This is because it is not setting it. Remove this one. A B. Mm. No, there is some error. It should show the data because you have set the data. Uh, the last update is you have set the data to res.data. Okay. Mhm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, we have put empty string because we want the data first to be empty, and then we'll fill the data after calling the API. But it is not logging in the console thing. Just remove the console log data from line number 14 and paste it after line number 17. And also you send this code to Venkat. Now we'll yeah. So now we'll it is showing now. It should have showed that time also. Maybe because of some error. Maybe because the API was not called at that time. So you can share this code on the chat, and then we'll render this API in the UI. Yeah, and Venkat, you can share your screen after copying this one. So you know async await. Meantime, you can this sample API. I have given the link. Uh, I got this link. Yeah, you can write sample API. I googled this one, so I got it. Uh, yeah, you can get this. There are some sample APIs, and then if you want to post API.post access.post, and there is you can make a fake server, and then there you can use. So API are provided by backend team. Um, the backend guys will provide you the API and collection. Every time if you get API, ask for them to send the collection also, and then you can then according to that you can just render it in the front end. Mostly this is the task in every company. This is the task. Get the API and display it in the UI. Yes, you can remove. You will write another code. This will give error. You missed the closing syntax. No, no, no. It was correct. Just just keep the fragments there only. Don't remove the fragments. Write the fragments. There is a very important uh, thing about the return thing. I will tell you in the map when you will use map. Okay. Uh, the now the task is to render the data in the UI. Okay. So write a h1 tag. Yeah, Pratik, do you know about how to do this? You, also, you're telling about that this is late time about past today. So yes, we can just render this UI and then we can stop the session. We'll continue. Tomorrow I'm not available actually, so we'll do on Sunday. Sunday. Okay. Mm. Yeah, H1 uh, get data, getting the data from API. Mm. And now you know about the map function. Yeah, you have to now map. Yes, yes. Now you have to map through all the arrays and expand this. What are the things you are getting check? Expand this means expand this. Yeah. What are the things you are getting? You are getting ID and title completed, user ID, title completed. So you can log all this. Yeah. So the syntax is data.map, right? Data.map, and then uh, okay, this map is JavaScript. So you need to wrap this one in curly brackets. Before writing this, write a curly bracket. No, no, not here. No, after line number 21 only. Yeah, because this is JavaScript, so you need to write it before. Here only you put curly brackets. Yes, because this is a JavaScript code, so you need to write it here. Yeah, inside this you need to write all the JSX, JavaScript XML. Yes, so this map will take a will will, yeah, return an array with all the contents, and it will. I'm telling about the syntax. What this will take map is the higher order function. It takes another function inside that. So write a anonymous function inside this. Add curly, yeah, not curly brackets, not curly brackets. Uh, Smaller bracket, yes, this one, and then call the arrow function. Yes, curly brackets. If you yeah, this is very important. So when you do curly brackets, you need to return, write return, and if you do only normal brackets, normal small brackets, then you don't need to write return word. Okay, inside curly bracket. Right, enter. Press enter, so it will be formatting. The format will do. That's fine. Okay, return, then space. Write write a p tag. Yeah, paragraph tag. Yeah. Paragraph tag, and then curly bracket. No, again, because you are writing the data dot user ID. That's JavaScript. Okay, you need, yeah, you're missing something. Yeah, in line number 22. Okay, write this one. I'll send you the code like how it should be. I'll write the code. Okay, I have sent you. No, wait. I have sent you the code. Remove this code and first copy that code and paste it. Then I will tell you like how to improve this one. Data dot map. Okay. Instead of user ID, write title. Write title, and instead of data, write user dot title. Okay, key dot title. I think I have like mixed that. Key dot title, right? Key dot title instead of user dot title. What is the error? Inspected token waiting. Remove the comma. I think you are missing something there. Yes. Uh, save. Data dot map is not a function. Your data is, so instead of key, write user now. No, we need to pass this one. There's some syntax error. I need to check it. Okay. So send the code. Send the code. Copy the code and send. Yes, yes. It's on. And now go to your app.js. Uh, Instead of key, write only K. 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 Because key, it takes it automatically. Key is something it takes it in the first HTML file also. HTML. Okay. Expand that API. Check that API. What is the name of the key? What is the name of the yeah. No, expand that API only. Hmm. Expand that API. Go to the API. Yes. So TITLE. I have written TITTLE. Okay. Uh, yes, TIT. Okay. Wait 1 second. I have pasted in. And, yes, I have pasted this code. You can check this one. There is some syntax error, and I think it first it will take the value and then the key. Take the first one and remove instead of numbers, write data. No, from numbers one word. Copy, and instead of numbers, yes, I will tell you. Uh, data. Data.map is not a function. Go on the top. I think there's some issue with data. Go top on the top. Data set data. Okay. Save it and reload. Sometimes it happens at code sandbox. I think. Uh, this is class-based component. Data.map. Go to that app.js and try to figure it out. So data.map is not a function. Yeah, data.maps takes an anonymous function, it's a callback, and it takes two arguments. The first one is the element itself, and the second one is the index of that element, or you can say the key. The key. The key is provided now in the first HTML tag li, and we are logging element.title. So can you write instead of li before data? Just write this. I'm pasting code. Fix. I have written a code. Just do a console log of this. No, before return. Before return. this is a syntax to check if the data is an array or not. Because it is not taking data as array. Yes, yes, I think. In API is not uh, after set data do a console log data. The console log data is not okay. Okay, the API is not fetching. The API is not coming. Uh, the API is not working basically because you can see the data is still set to null, null or empty string. So okay, do control save. The API is not working. I think. Yes, it's a free API, so don't know what is happening. Sometimes it's coming, sometimes it is not. Sometimes it is up, sometimes it is down. I think. Do a control save again. Control S. Try to call that API. You have imported the Axios, no? Yeah, yeah, it came. The data came few minutes back, no? When you tried last. Use effect is there. Use effect is here. Try with some another API. Wait, I'll send you another API.